I think
I
we're
see you
back.
live.
Are we back?
We're back. I think.
Looks like so.
Yes.
We appear to be
Hi.
back. Yes, I don't know what that was about, but
It was the werewolf.
it probably, yes.
The werewolves.
That was either some weird thing. What was odd about that is there was no... The program seemed to just be going, but it wouldn't end the stream when I clicked it. Anybody out there in chat, what was like the last thing you recall? I don't know. Did I do the thing like where you're on a phone call and someone talks a long time and the other person's... The call got dropped and they just don't know? How long were we talking into the ether? Kind of the last thing that we were saying was basically that Hank was...
Pierce was talking.
So basically, it sounds like Karn is going to go get a wagon. Karn's going to go deal with this deceased person, get a wagon, etc. Everyone else is going to go to a manor that Hank has said, and that all of you know, is sort of said to be haunted. But Hank says there is a good bit of silver hidden there. Elodie, you had a question long ago.
It would make like this is just for my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I would have colloidal silver,
Manor.
right?
What
It is used in herbalism. I double checked because I was like, I know it's used in medicine nowadays, but I was like, was it used in herbalism? And it was. So that would be an argument I would use.
Yeah, colloidal silver is tiny silver crystals of particles in a liquid. That's what you were going through your bag for last week, and then you ran when you saw a fish chain into
You
it.
said I had shavings.
That's it. This is what I was talking about. It's like little pieces of
Okay.
silver in like a suspension. Yes.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
Yes.
Wasn't sure if it was that or. Okay.
Yes. And we'll say that it's tiny bits of silver floating in a liquid. We'll say back in these days, they weren't as tiny because he didn't have like
Yes.
a... Cool.
Naturally.
So yes, you have that silver, but you don't think that is enough to like, that's not enough to,
Yeah.
that's maybe enough to splash on them and they'll go, but it's not enough to like hurt.
Yeah.
With that, it seems that Hank, when Narcissa says, let's go now, I don't know if people saw that, but Narcissa was like, we'll go right now. Hank was like, are we? And you're like, go now. Hank just walked right out when she said that, and then kind of probably did the awkward thing of like, oh, they're not all, okay. Just shifted around by himself outside. But if Narcissa, Freya, Siobhan, and Elodie here in the dead of the night are going to sort of head north of town, to the manor house, to the Stein land house, they can do so. Karn, you're going to deal with his body first. You're going to inform the family what's the deal.
I will collect the body into some sort of like. It seems like sack would be sufficient.
There literally was a wheelbarrow.
Oh sure, I can do
The
that.
fish was brought here in a wheelbarrow.
I'll recollect my knife.
Out of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, or what's left of him,
Sure.
and then like stack the pieces in a wheelbarrow, and I'll take that to if we have a funeral area or something like that.
I don't. This is a small village. I doubt there is a true undertaker here.
Okay.
Yeah. Karn, I am going to tell you that this is. I guess we're starting with Karn. Karn, I'm going to mention that this is. You have not encountered a body in as grisly a condition as this. This is full dismemberment. He's in at
I don't
least
plan to
3 or 4 pieces.
Yeah, I don't plan to bring the body to the family like this.
Of course, sure. But just so you're aware, like this is like
I'm very aware that like
you collecting the remains will take you a while. If you're trying to collect all the remains.
I mean, I'm not going to try to gather up all of his entrails. I'm going to get the bigger, like,
Okay.
like if he's in like 4 pieces, I will grab like the big 4 pieces. I'm not going to try to scrape together all the viscera.
Okay. Well,
I mostly
fair
just
enough.
want to make it so that like other animals don't come and feed on his remains.
Understood.
I may even just I may just even like gather it up and leave it in the tannery for now, rather than wheel it to the kids.
I'm sure the Akatar sisters appreciate that. So as you sort of gather the remains into the wheelbarrow, that will take you a little while. Go ahead and give me an investigation. But because of kind of that you're doing this over a longer period of time, I'd like this to actually be vitality investigation.
Vitality investigation. Okay.
Yeah.
That is 1 match waning crescent.
waning crescent. Ooh. Gotta love that sort of serenity and acceptance on that. You had already sort of looked over this body pretty carefully. You'd already sort of done a thing. The nature of, phrase it like this. You put together, and though you know he's been spread out in a lot of stuff, you do realize that there probably is a good bit of remains inside the house. Inside the fish.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You, of course, don't have to collect that, but there's this moment of like,
Yeah.
oh, right, because the fish was... this creature was not only... I mean, it was mauling him, but was also, feeding upon him.
Right.
So there is more to deal with there. But if you... So we'll I'm going to cut away from you. It probably would take you as long to kind of put all this together as it will take them to sort of make their way through the woods to the manor. Is anyone doing anything other than just kind of following? Because you do have these two serious tracker people with Hank and Freya both here. They can, make sure everyone's watching their steps and moving correctly through the woods with a full moon shining down. There is an eerie quality. You hear a lot of, it seems active tonight. You hear more animals moving through the brush, fluttering wings of owls, hooting, and in the distance you do hear some wolves howling. If you're sort of...
I will have my... sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go for it.
I was saying I would have my hand on my musket as we walk, and I'll try to be at the back of the crew and because Hank is I begrudgingly let him lead everyone. So I'll be one in the back, making sure everybody is together and just going the right way. But at some point, I would like to fall into step with Narcissa.
Okay.
Halfway through when I feel like everything's good. And
Narcissa, where are you walking?
I'll be in front of Freya.
Okay, so you're toward... It's not hard for you can just take a half step up and join her. Cool.
I'm sorry I wasn't there to help. I should have been there.
Where were you?
I was at the tavern.
Why? When we don't have any money?
Karn was fine. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. I should have been there. There's no excuse. But I just want to make sure, are you all right?
No, thanks to you, I'm okay.
I know that. I know that. You don't need to remind me.
I was worried sick about you. What if that weird
You're
fish...
worried about me? Why were you worried about me? You're the one that was getting
I always
attacked,
worry about you.
but I'm worrying about you. We actually eat at night. I don't want to have this discussion again. I just want to make sure you're okay.
I'm the reason we have a roof over our heads.
Yeah. Just want to make sure you're all right. And I'll slide back.
Elodie and Siobhan, you two... Let me look at old Elodie. Elodie's got to listen 3. Siobhan's got to listen 3. So, ladies, you heard every word.
Oh, yeah.
So did
yeah,
most of the animals in the forest, to be honest. But, yes. So, if you guys... if Elodie and
I was
Siobhan...
on Siobhan's arm the whole time, and we were just...
Oh, yeah. No,
I'm going to say at the volume they were arguing, at the volume and intensity they were arguing, you can have a conversation that was whispered and they didn't hear it. So, go for it if you'd like.
Oh, well, I always knew there was trouble in the home, but...
I mean, of course. It was painfully obvious, right?
Oh, I know. I just didn't know their dynamic.
I mean, it's almost... it's borderline abusive, right?
Oh, it is, but to each other in
I know.
a kind of way. Oh,
Ugh.
that they learn to get along. But they both contribute so much, and when it comes down to it, they cannot exist one without the other because
That's-
one's a hunter, the other's a tanner.
I mean, they really need each other.
They really do. I just hope that on this adventure that we're having, that they learn to, get along and love each other as sisters should.
I mean, I really hope that they're able to open their hearts.
They've been through so much, like
So much.
if they could just bond over.
Find common ground.
Well, they've got trauma.
I mean, it just seems like they're getting in the wrong way.
That's absolutely right.
Elodie and Siobhan. Hank sort of says, and sort of, Hank often kind of speaks, especially in sort of social situations.
I love Hank.
He speaks very, kind of, there's an awkwardness, there's a sort of calm to him, but he says quiet to the two of you in a way that it is so intense and direct. He just tells you both to be quiet in a way where it doesn't even feel rude or gruff. It feels like
Personal.
you will be silent right now. And as he says this, and the two of you see him, he has paused. He has his musket out, and it's that kind of quiet. It's not a like stop talking about these girls. No, he's not.
Okay.
It is Hank in that situation would have been like, maybe you shouldn't say, I don't know, whatever. No, this is suddenly a
Okay.
quiet. And he has his musket out, but he is pulling that, he like spins that axe up into his hand.
If he'll allow me, I'll relieve him of the musket if it aids him.
He kind of feels you sort of there as you're reaching for it. He lets the musket sort of go. He does like shoot a look back at Freya, and Freya, you'll sort of see a pause. Freya, I would like for you to please make
Ooh.
let's do a tracking roll using your vitality. So that's 68. 6 sweet little moon dice.
I was like 68. So what's that?
Yeah. Damn.
6 moon dice. Sorry, everyone. What's a D8? I don't know. When's the last? I haven't been on a D8 in a long time.
No, I thought you said 68. Like 6-8.
I get it.
I'll see.
Ooh, I got a pair of 6s, so some waning gibbous.
Okay. A perspective is great for this because this was kind of
Yeah.
kind of having you do tracking just in a look thing. You can tell that he has seen some like motion on the trail around you, and he's even like now handing back his musket.
I'll grip mine. Like I already had it kind of out, but now it's gonna be like up.
You see passing ahead of you. There is a large black wolf. Yellow eyes kind of peering out. It just walks sort of across the path. And it sort of stops and it's just staring, and Hank is just there with his axe. Sort of Siobhan, you now have his musket kind of in hand. He's releasing that. Freya, you've got your musket, you're all sort of clumped.
I've got my sickle.
Elodie has her
But
Elodie has her herb collecting sickle. Yeah. But he's sort of just there, sort of paused for a moment as there is this wolf.
I crouch down into the grass
Okay.
and just wait, and I'll take one hand off my musket for a second and just touch the grass beneath my fingertips
Okay.
just to feel the earth, and then bring it back.
Understood. As you sort of take position. There's a few moments here.
Do I get the sense that this is a wolf? Do I get a sense that there's anything non-wolfy about the wolf?
How about you make a look? Oh, you know what? Let's have you make an analyze roll.
Okay.
Because that really is what this is. I will let you use your intellect for that, so it's going to be 5 dice.
Great.
5 little moon dice.
Pair of. Pause. Hold, please. Waxing gibbous.
Oh, okay.
Clarity.
Clarity and focus. I will say that, Siobhan, this appears to be you're not sensing like this wolf seems to be a normal size, and you're not sensing like intent beyond just that it's a wild animal. It seems to be.
I don't feel like a connection in my soul to the wolf.
No, you don't feel like whoever this is when they're in human form, I want to know them. You don't feel that at all. You feel that
Just to run. Yeah.
this is an animal
Just a basic.
under the light
wolf.
of the moon. Hank and Freya have sort of weapons drawn. I guess Elodie does as well. The wolf is just sort of staring for a few moments, as if kind of looking at all of you, considering you as prey. Probably thinking with so many of you, and given your size, you may not be a great choice. Suddenly, you hear several howls in the distance. The wolf howls back. And being this close to it, there's something very powerful and eerie about just the the wolfish cry, the howling at the moon. And then the wolf bounds off into the forest towards the other sounds. Hank just reaches back for his musket.
I let out a low breath and just touch my hand back to the earth and stand back up.
I'll elbow Siobhan to give the musket back.
I elbow Elodie back.
You don't even know how to use that thing. I don't know.
I'm
why
a
you
quick.
grabbed
I'm a quick study.
it. Okay, you don't have time to study weaponry out here in the woods with a wolf in front of us.
It's.
The kickback alone would knock you right on your ass.
Excuse me.
Look, I know you're strong, but look at the size of that thing. Give it back to Hank. I got a sickle. It's fine.
Only because it's Hank, and I give it.
He just says, "Thank you. Sorry, I told you to be quiet.
It's Hank,
Wasn't sure if it was I thought it
We
might have.
totally.
and I just put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm just like, shh, it's okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry." He then looks over at Narcissa. Is Narcissa even looking at Hank, or is she looking elsewhere?
I'm looking if I have anything on me.
You're
Like
he looks
Yeah,
at her and
like-
then he just,
like frantic, like I don't like did I have a tanner tool
"Do
or
I have a
something
weapon?
with me?
Do I have I got a chisel. Damn it." So as he'll sort of he'll carry on leading everyone. He'll sort of just mumble that the land house is not far. And in fact, after a few more minutes of walking, you do see sort of a clearing, though many trees have sort of grown up through it. There is a rickety gate and fence that is largely kind of fallen over, so there are some posts standing and still a few pieces here or there, but largely the fence has kind of just fallen. And up ahead is a decrepit, moldering house. Was once kind of the manor of this area, but has fallen totally into disrepair. The ground's overgrown. You see kind of eyes staring out of various shadowy spots within, sort of smaller creatures, owls, and the like, watching as you arrive. And at that point, we're going to cut back to Karn, because at this point you've put everything in a wheelbarrow that I guess you're just storing at the old.
Yeah, I'm gonna gather up the remains. They're not out, just sitting out. I'll
Okay.
leave it inside the tannery for now, where
Okay.
where the original tack was, and
Sounds
then I'll
good.
make my way to the Lars household.
Understood. So as you head back to town, once you're sort of out of sight, once you've kind of turned the bend and you're in the thick part of the forest, though there is a good bit of light from the full moon, it's pretty dark here, you do have this sensation that you're being watched, Karn. The forest has eyes on a night like this. I'd like you to make an insight roll using your vitality. It's 5 moon dice for you.
That is 3 sevens.
3 sevens. And 7 is preparation and understanding, and for insight, understanding's kind of the whole point. As you sort of reach out, you are certain that something is watching you from the trees. You don't know where, but you can tell that something has moved along with you.
Do I get any sense of animal versus like sentient creature?
I'm gonna say because you had 7 since you kicked it up to the thing. It appears this doesn't. You don't think it's. I mean, many animals are probably watching you, but no, you see. It seems like something aware is following you. Something with a little more brain power.
Okay. I will like just kind of like sort of grab my cudgel off my hip, but I'll keep moving towards the town. But I'm just gonna kind of keep my periphery like over my shoulder so I can see if it tries to approach me from behind.
Keep looking. You keep walking, and you probably snap back as you hear a couple of crunching leaves in the woods. But you don't see anyone. Nothing is rushing for you. Nothing is kind of sneaking up on you. But something seems to be matching your pace to some extent. But at this point, you're growing close to town. It's only a quarter mile.
I'm gonna stop and see if I can get a better look at what is.
Give me a look roll. Let's use, again, your vitality for this.
Okay.
This is your just
Another 5.
alertness, awareness. You're sort of...
Oh no, this is 6.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, you only have 4 power.
That is correct.
Okay.
Let's see. I almost have a straight with all of them. But
I feel like that should be something.
I have a 6, 7, a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Actually,
8. That's
but
cool.
but
no
I'm gonna
matches.
have to I'm gonna spend just 1 power to reroll everything.
Right? So.
Oh no, sorry, no. I'm looking at a different thing. Sorry. No matches then.
Okay, cool. You look and you just peer into the darkness and cannot see anything. You know someone is following you. You're almost certain. They don't seem to have. They're not rushing you at this point. You look. You don't even know which side of the road they're on, but you think they're in the trees. And you think you took about 10 steps, and you heard a couple seconds after that a few steps. Pretty silent, but like you hear something every now and again. And when you stopped, they stopped. You can't even tell if it's on your left or right. You can see nothing but blackness. And you hear wolves howling in the distance.
Then I will call out. Friend, it's safer if we travel together. If you're heading into town, perhaps we should travel side by side.
In response to that, you're sort of looking to the left as you say this. You hear a snapping to your right, and you glance over, and in the dark, a sort of flint tinder is lit. And you glance and you see there is kind of a rather haggard man, sort of very stony faced, with like a hood on, general traveler. Seems to be lighting a pipe, which he lights, and so for a second you sort of see this stark relief, these very jagged features, stern sort of rock-like brow, but he lights that and begins to step out, and you see there is some man in traveler's clothes, has a pack on his back, puffing on a pipe. Is that so?
Yes, hello there. Yes, I'm Solar Karn. I'm the village watch for the village up ahead. If that's where you're headed, I'd be happy to escort you there. If not, perhaps I'll just keep you company on the road for a bit.
Well, if you say it's safer.
Well, certainly than being out with all those wolves.
Are there wolves about? I hadn't noticed.
You don't hear the howler?
I have a song stuck in my head.
Oh, yeah?
He sort of just steps onto the woods, kind of out of the woods, and he's with you. He's a man of average height, sort of slender build. His features are very kind of just sharp and angular. He could be in his 50s or 60s.
I still have the cudgel in my hand. Well, yeah, Solar Karn, what was your name?
Crockern.
Crockern?
Crockern. Yeah.
Crockern. Pleasure. Well, perhaps then, if that song keeps the fear of the wolves from you, perhaps you'll teach it to me as we walk. I've got some bad news to deliver, so if you don't mind, I need to be on my way.
He starts walking into town.
I'm running behind. I didn't mean to get here after dark.
No. It is an odd night. Something about it feels off. Things aren't going according to plan, I think, for many people. And I'll just begin walking with Crockern.
Crockern. As he goes on. He seems very kind of quiet, taciturn. You can't really, you don't have
Anything
you
about
don't have a good read on
anything
him, I'll say that.
But does anything about him seem like out of the ordinary from normal people I would have encountered traveling through solo?
The weirdos
hunters
who
and gatherers.
the weirdos who come through town are weird. So like he's fitting, but he's definitely like sometimes they're weird, eccentric. He just kind of feels weird of like hey kids, let's go sit at another table, and you guys like move. Yeah, he's that kind of weird. So there's no malice. He doesn't even seem to have a weapon on him. You don't spot. He seems just pretty but there's just a weird vibe. But you guys walk into town together. And as you sort of reach town, he just kind of stares. He sees, there's still a lot kind of going on at the inn. A lot of people are gathered at the tavern chatting. He just kind of doesn't even say anything to you. He just starts walking over there. But you are free to sort of head to where Lars's baby mama would be. But at this point, I'm going to cut back to the others. So, you're standing on the edge of the Stein land house, and at this point, everybody make a luck roll, and I would like the four of you. This is everybody straight luck, no skill applied.
What are we rolling?
Where is that?
So luck is at the bottom of your attribute. So it's however many dice you get for that. If anybody only has one, then don't even roll. But I think for most people, that'll just be 2. Although I think Siobhan gets 3.
I have an 8 and a 2.
8 and a 2, great.
Got an 8. Oh, I got an 8 and a 3. That was super. That was
8 2, 8 2, 8 3. Siobhan?
An 8, 7, and a 1.
8 7 and 1, great. Yeah, was it a match? I assume not a match based on your face. I will say I was doing this as a thing of like the odds that any of you ever would have ventured to this place before were meant to be low, so as such, no one has. But as you stare at this manor house, you kind of get why you haven't. There is a very creepy vibe, and with the light of a full moon shining down, the distant braying of or howling of wolves, it's upsetting. It's there's your goose flesh rises. Yes, Elodie.
Would there happen to be any mention of this in Blue Moon folklore?
There absolutely is. What is your score in Blue Moon folklore?
1.
Then you simply know that rumors are it's haunted by the dead Stein family.
Hey y'all, this is haunted by the dead Stein family. I just want to let y'all know about that.
It looks it.
Feels it too, huh?
So, shall we?
Sure.
Lead the way.
I'll just march up to the front steps, musket out.
Understood. You make your way up to the front, sort of across this overgrown terrain. It's like you're foresting. I mean, it's super overgrown and such. You make your way to the front doors. The front doors do not even appear to be closed. They're sort of sitting. One is slightly ajar, the other kind of in place. They are made of wood, and the wood is very sort of moldering and rotted in spots.
With my foot, I'll delicately open the door so I can keep 2 hands on my musket.
Perfect. You kick the door open. There's kind of a... It doesn't really swing free, but you kind of just kick it open. I will say that... No... Yes, and... Siobhan. With your look skill, you notice some movement. You're kind of further back, I'd imagine. You notice some movement in one of the windows above.
Oh, great.
I'd like for you to make a look roll. Let's use your vitality for this as well. Vitality plus look. I think it's 5 moon dice.
Three.
Oh yes,
Oh.
you've. And then as Siobhan looks at the window and suddenly disappears into a
There we
sort
go.
of haze. Yes.
She rolls 3, 5, 3 full moons.
3
Ooh.
full moons. Ooh.
Mm.
Passion and wildness and fulfillment. Is Siobhan a romantic to any extent?
Yes.
That was so quick.
She'd never let anyone. I mean, yes.
Is Siobhan most likely to be swept off her feet by men, women, either irrelevant?
Either. But yeah.
Roll a d4.
It's a 1.
1. In the window, you catch sight of a handsome, tall, elegantly dressed young man with patrician features. He has this sad look on his face.
Of course you do.
That is just preposterous. And as you glance up there in the window, his eyes meet yours.
Do I feel like I can fix him?
You feel like he is a statue, a beautiful statue that has been shattered. And if only someone could pick up the pieces together. Oh, the man he would be. Oh, the man that he could be with the right woman at his side.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. Huh. Hank.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe there's someone inside.
He sort of steps back, and you look up, and there's no one in the window. He says,
I thought I saw.
You saw someone?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gives you this look of like, it's probably a ghost. Or it's bandits.
Or that's usually what.
Or bandits.
That's usually the two things.
This here, I would imagine, is ghost or bandit. Did it look more like a ghost or a bandit?
A ghost. What? Siegfried Stein. No. Just keep your eyes. Just be careful, everyone.
Okay. The rest of you have heard this. It seems like Siobhan was sort of mentioning this. Hank sort of like
I just keep going in.
understood. Freya has entered this sort of grand hall. It is very dark in here. There is moonlight coming through the windows, but like when you venture into the house, it becomes very dark. Yes, Elodie.
No. You know what? I'll save it for later. Never mind.
Okay. Freya, you have.
I'd like to pull Elodie aside and say, I saw a very, very handsome man in there.
Well, I know Hank's a looker, but
No.
seen
I
him
mean, he is very. Did you see? I mean, he got an
very
elk.
brave. Oh yeah, very brave.
I feel like there really isn't anyone as accomplished a hunter as he, but
It's true. You know, Freya's catching up, but she ain't quite there yet.
yeah.
She will be one day.
Mm.
I have confidence in her. If she had a little more temperance, like her sister and her Sissa, she'd be right up there with him. But
It's true, but that's not who I'm talking. I mean, Hank is a wonderful man.
I'm sorry. You saw someone else.
Yeah,
You saw someone else.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, just
where did you see that?
in the window.
In the window. Are you sure it wasn't your reflection? I mean, you're a very beautiful woman, but you know, the trick of the light. There's not much light out here. Are you sure you saw a person? What did he look like? Was he around our age? Did he look like someone who would go after us, or?
I think Siobhan like raises an eyebrow and says, I mean, yes.
Well, I was just joking. We can't. Or what if it was one of the Stein ghosts?
I mean,
I have an idea. And can I pull out my tarot cards?
Absolutely, you can pull out your tarot
Oh.
That's
cards.
actually what I was gonna do before, but I was like,
Understood.
we're gonna see if we can figure some things out. What do you say?
I like that idea.
All right.
Cool. So, as
I
you
owe-
two-
I owe-
oh, boy.
Yeah, I always no. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
No, say it. What?
So
I
as
was like, I always enjoy a good nervous tarot reading. Really puts my nerves at ease.
Yeah.
In the midst of a deep dark forest with no weapons,
Hank,
I think that's what will put my mind at ease right now.
while walking into a haunted house, Hank kind of looks around and grabs like a piece of wood, sort of pulls out his tinderbox and pretty quickly is able to fashion just with some cloth and such. Pours a little liquid on. He makes a kind of a torch. And kind of looking at Siobhan and Elodie, kind of like as they're just kind of like clatching together. He will.
I have tarot cards ready in my hand to show as reference if needed. They were right here next to me. And guess what? They're Akatar themed.
You have Akatar themed. Oh wait, I can
Yeah.
be on brand, but it's not physically next to me, but it's so close.
Physically next to me, I had Akatar themed tarot cards.
I had
Yo,
two.
that is the quietest I've ever talked on this stream. I just want to say.
I had 2 sets, but I do have the Pulp Tarot if we need to do anything for the Noir
Ooh.
game.
Ooh.
Anywho, but since it is
Sexy
Akatar themed,
scandalous.
well, that's only if the Akatar sisters are doing it.
Wow.
God, I'm so excited to talk to people about the Akatar sisters.
What is the origin of the Akatar last name? I'm curious.
Who are you asking, me or them?
You made it up.
The Akatar, it's obviously a family name.
Right.
Akatar is in the Fantese dialect. Akatar means, it means one who craves love and maybe weird sex scenes. I don't have a good read on the series.
That's
Not
right.
weird sex scenes. That's all I'll say.
If they're not weird, it's not the stuff
They're
Lauren reads.
magical.
Oh, okay. Understood.
They're good.
In any case, Akatar is a Fantese term for lover. Let's say that. Is that okay?
Well, if they only loved each other as sisters, not in that way,
Yeah, I don't know why you just did that. That you made it. You
Well,
made it
You
weird.
didn't have to do that. That was
You
all
took
you.
it
I didn't
to
mean that.
Wow.
you took it to
Oh,
a
wow.
place that the
Oh, boy.
that the fan art goes.
Oh, Elodie.
We're gonna cut that.
it-
We're gonna cut that from the stream. Everyone erase that
No,
from your mind.
your
I didn't-
opportunity to have something cut from the stream was lost when the stream came back in and is currently working functionally. You had an
right, I'm
opportunity to say a weird thing on stream
Let me
and
do a
take it back.
tarot thing.
You're going to do a tarot thing. So, but I'm going to
Right.
Freya because I do want to say, as hilarious as Siobhan and Elodie are, Freya walked in there already. So she might have been eaten already, but we don't know. So Freya, you're walking in with the musket drawn. Hank has fashioned a torch, having a musket in his hand, and sort of Hank does look to Narcissa, and I'm just gonna roll a general cool roll for this guy. How well he can say the following. Yeah,
He
with
must have-
definitely.
So,
He must have 10 dice for that.
No, he actually got a match. I gave him 3 dice, and he rolled a 1 and 2 6s. So I will say that without his voice breaking or seeming like an idiot. Ooh, assertion, this is good. Hank has some modes, right? Hank has some modes that he will flip into when there's danger and a hunt on. That's why he told those women to be quiet. He looked at them. They're looking at cards and being weird. Freya has entered. He's concerned for Freya. He sees Narcissa still like patting her pouches, not having a weapon. He hands Narcissa the torch and says, "Can you hold this?"
Why can't you
She can
hold
hold
it?
He physically hands it to you and says, "I need both hands." And then he walks in after your sister. So Freya, you hear footsteps coming in behind you as you're looking around this hall. Narcissa, do you take the torch?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll-
so
I'll
basically,
take it.
and if you will you follow them in?
Yeah.
So basically, so with a torch, as you enter, suddenly Freya kind of like the place lights up in that eerie sort of firelit way. Long shadows being cast. There is, you also notice there's a chandelier that has actually like there's no candle. There's like candles have melted all over it, unlit. It is hanging by sort of some ropes, but like one of the ropes has fallen, so it seems to have like fallen to like a second level. So it's actually only about like 4 feet off the ground, but it's tilted, kind of this canted chandelier. There are signs of fire damage throughout the space, plenty of weather damage. And there are places where you see like picture at some point much of the riches of at least this chamber have been taken away, have been stolen by people, or just it hasn't been picked fully clean. You see the odd bit of gold etching, or maybe a piece of sculpture that has been knocked onto the ground. But for the most part, it seems like people, maybe more daring people in the light of day, have entered at least this room and taken what they could. You see there is a large staircase leading upstairs. It does not look to be in good repair. But with some athleticism, you think you could, maybe climb it and hope for the best. And then there are a couple of doors leading into other sort of larger chambers here on the ground floor. You assume things like ballrooms or dining halls, kind of large places where Stein could entertain.
Well, Hank, I've never been in a house like this before in my life. Where would Silver be kept?
My aunt said it's downstairs.
Okay,
I don't
lead the
know.
way.
I don't know where downstairs is, but
Okay,
start
and I just
looking.
keep walking.
Yeah, you just gotta keep. He
I
follows.
just ignore him.
Yeah, he'll just shut up and follow. His eyes alert. His musket out. Narcissa sort of going with them.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Like
just-
running between them.
just-
Yeah. I'm trying to like the way.
Here's light. Elodie
Yeah.
and Siobhan. Are you two sticking around outside for your little tarot reading? Are you following them?
No, well, I
We
would
can.
have
I mean, we
to do it
can go.
inside, right?
I mean, I think we can walk. We can walk.
Okay,
Right.
yeah. Look, there's no light out here anyway, aside from the moonlight, and it creeped me out. So let's go.
Just draw. Let's just do one card, real quick.
All right.
One card a day. A card a day can tell you so much.
All right. Are you doing a card? Well, do you? I mean,
Ooh,
I've
can
got
I
a rider
shuffle
weight
it?
here.
Can you shuffle it and see if one falls out, and that will be.
Okay. Are we doing rider weight? Or are we doing the Akatar? What do you guys want?
I also
feel
have a
like-
wilderness set that's really beautiful. That has,
Oh,
like,
I actually have a
stuff on it.
super evil-looking medieval set. If you want me to do
No,
that.
no. I don't want. I want
Tell you
something.
what.
Fight
No.
about it.
Tell me.
I
Just
want
say
something
when. Say when.
juicy. Just juicy. When?
So I'm shuffling. Let me explain what's happening. I'm shuffling, and that flies out.
You got 3 of Pentacles.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
It's
first
Lauren.
of all, go ahead and roll. You have palmistry. You can use. I'll let you use tarot cards for your or palmistry for your tarot cards. But you're doing
With
this like while
palmistry?
walking. You're doing this like on the move. You've just pulled one out.
Like we'll go into the foyer, and
So you
and I'll
two are
pause
posting up in
and-
the foyer, and you're doing this as
Yeah.
they're walking off. Perfect. Give me a palmistry roll. I will say this would be will and palmistry. You're trying to sort of do it quick.
Okay, so that's
That's 5.
in total?
5. Yeah.
Okay. I got 2 3s.
Two
This
threes.
First quarter. Yes.
First quarter. Tell me some terms about that.
Accomplishment, action, decision.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Oh no.
So action decision. So your reading of the cards is very assertive. This is a clear card, especially in the context of what Siobhan said. Because you are aware that the 3 of Pentacles, which we'll say came up right side up for you. It's about achieving perfection. Artistic. He's already, Siobhan's always thought of this as a sculpture that needs being put together. And in fact, the image on your tarot, I don't know if it's this is very, it's like, people putting together work. Sculpting. Sculpture carving. About dignity, rank, and power. So basically,
Striving.
Siobhan, this seems like this sort of striving, this seeking to fix that which is broken feels very appropriate.
You can fix him, I promise.
All right.
So take it or leave it.
Okay. Let's go. I'll take it. Let's go.
All right. And you know what? I'll hand the card to her.
Okay. I'll slip it in my notebook, my journal.
All right, let's go. And I'll grab her hand.
Okay.
like and
And at this, as
creep
you
along.
look up,
Scared
like
a
the
little
last
bit.
of those like shadows are disappearing through one of the
No, yeah. Let's go.
corridors,
Like
you guys sort
like
of move.
Fast walk.
You guys fast
Yeah.
walk,
Ooh.
unseen by either of you, as you disappear.
No.
There's like there's a
No.
figure watching from the darkness,
No.
beginning to follow you.
I don't
Nope.
like it.
Nope.
Um,
Nope. Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Since we both have high listens, do we hear it? Or no, it's that good?
In any case, Karn, you are going to go talk to Lars's
partner.
The one who people think he probably maybe the closest one to a marriage. We'll say 4 of the kids are hers. She still lives with her parents, but you are able to sort of knock on the door and ask for her. What's her name? Kurla. Curla. Kurla, yeah. But eventually, you hear many screaming kids. You hear this kind of like older man like telling them to like, you all need to be quiet. And they're just more screaming, and he's like, ah, and he wanders out. Eventually, though, you see a woman. She has a baby on a hip. There's like a 2-year-old like running as fast as he can at her hip and like hitting her hip with his head. And then he just backs up a little. He's just like running at her like a charging bull. He really looks like a little Lars. Is he Lars Jr.? No, he's not. But he looks like a little Lars.
Know that?
And he's hitting. I mean, he's Lars's child for sure, but he's not the one named Lars Jr. But he's ramming this woman with his head, and there's a baby crying, and she says, "What?"
Kurla, could you step outside for just a moment?
All right. She sort of steps outside. The kid, get out of here, and he just says, "I'm a ram. I'm the fastest ram of all the ram." Blah! And he continues running at her. And so she closes the door. Go ahead, Karn. What? Baby crying.
Kurla, I'm very sorry to be the one to deliver this news to you. Lars was...
The door
Lars was
opens,
injured.
and the child screams and runs out and starts running into her legs again, cackling. Lars was... Cut it out! Lars was what?
I'm gonna take out my whistle.
Okay.
And I'm gonna blow my whistle and say to the kid, it's like, that's the ram roundup. It's time to return to the barn.
Make a, give me a will roll, and, give me a will roll with a insight on it. Do a 5 on that.
Okay.
Let's try.
Okay.
You the animal handling?
Really the animal handling for this.
So 1 pair of waning crescent.
Okay. The kid just looks at you. He doesn't move. He just stares. He's like, he has, as if he has no idea what you're talking about, but he's quiet. And what's going on?
Lars was attacked by an animal while he was out today.
Oh, God.
He didn't survive.
He didn't survive?
I don't know if you can hear well, I guess here in the town you can't hear the wolves. But
He was attacked by a wolf?
some manner of creature like that, yes. We're trying to track down the hunters are currently trying to track down.
Dad! And at a few, her father comes out, kind of like in his late 40s. What's going on?
Lars was killed today by some sort of predator.
One of his debtors?
No, a creature of some kind.
Oh, a creature. Oh my God.
Currently Freya and Hank are out there following Freya's guidance to sort of track down this beast.
You see why you should have better taste in the men who you consort with? And Kurla's like,
I don't know that.
What? You're saying he's dead?
Yeah, he's dead. The remains are sort of being gathered. We'll return them to you tomorrow.
We don't want his remains. Throw him in the
Well, I didn't know
lake.
if you want to build a pyre or something.
We should wait. And her dad says, "Do you really want to wrangle them all for a pyre? You got 4 of them still running around. It's one less we have to feed. God damn that idiot!" And he just walks inside, and you hear him like through the walls, like, "Lars is dead. Apparently, got eaten by a wolf." And her mother's like, "He's got what? He what? He what?" And you just hear muffled stuff and children crying.
Kurla, I'm very sorry. I'll be back tomorrow to help you.
Okay. What?
But I didn't want you to wonder why he didn't come home.
Well, he doesn't ever come. He's always... What? Oh my god. Well, I'm not paying for his other kids.
We'll find a way to sort all of that out, Kurla.
She just pushes the one who's just still staring at everybody inside.
I'll start making my way to the tavern to sort of gather up a wagon.
As you sort of turn back that way, you see there's just a figure smoking a pipe, having kind of been watching you.
Helpy friend?
He was killed by a wolf, huh?
Something of that nature. Why'd you see something while you were traveling, Crocker?
No.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight roll.
Insight in what?
We'll do will for this.
Waning Gibbous, 1 match.
1 match, Waning Gibbous. He has matched New Moon. Waning Gibbous is assertion and perspective. His is control and reflection. I will say that you have no idea what it is you don't think that he knows anything about this, but he seems to be aware of a lot of stuff. And the way he's asking this makes you think he's aware of, strange goings on in the night, things like that. But he doesn't know anything about your specific situation.
Sure. You know anything about these kind of attacks?
It's not good to travel on a full moon. I'm lucky I made it here in one piece.
Sort of something I've been hearing about tonight. Shape-shifting creatures and the like.
Ooh. The lycanthrope.
That's what you're talking about.
I'm here to buy furs. Animal hide. I'm here to buy such things.
Well, the purveyors of those are currently out of the town. You'll have to wait in the morning.
I hope they survive.
Do you know anything that you can tell me or have anything that could help with such lycanthropes? As I have to go collect them. The fur traders that you seek.
Oh. It's all part of the hunt, isn't it? They're hunters.
Indeed.
The Wolfmen. They're predators. Apex predators, aren't they?
There's multiples of them? Or are you speaking in a general sense?
I know this isn't much of a city here, but you spend much time out of your village, out of the watch lights, Mr. City Watchman?
Not usually, unless there's an emergency or someone who's been injured or trapped in the forest.
You ever heard a story of someone looking at the sky and swearing they saw riders
In the sky.
moving through the sky? A great hunt. Horses and hounds. And terrible figures.
Would I Pierce know about this?
Yeah, give me a oh, you don't have folklore actually.
No, I have religion. But
I don't think this would be a religion. Then just give me an intellect as you rack your brain. It's only 3. Give it a shot. Try it and see.
That is 1 match of new moon.
Of new moon. Reflection, consideration. You will say that you've heard some people, maybe not Freya Akatar specifically,
hunters.
but you've heard people who've been out there claim that they swear they saw, a shape move across the sky.
I've heard people mention this, yes. Are you telling me that that's connected to these lycanthrope, these shapeshifters?
You've got to respect the apex predators. Well,
Interesting.
I hope those people get back all right.
He just turns around, doesn't say another word, just walks back over towards the tavern.
Yeah, me too. And I'll begin going to gather up
Find a wagon.
a wagon.
Understood.
A wagon, and actually, if possible, get a wagon with, whatever oxen or reindeer or whatever we have to pull such a thing. And maybe to grab some traps.
Understood. I will say at this point, no one's been in active combat. At least an hour has passed. Everyone regained 1 power. Karn, it might take you. By the time you're able to leave, it might be another power people have regained. But we will cut back to the room where Narcissa, you are lighting the way. I would like for you to give me an insight and vitality. So that's a measly 4 moon dice. I know I know you're flush with moon dice right now, and we'll get you rolling a big one, don't you worry. But for right now, a measly 4.
What are the odds? I got 3 1s, so it's a new moon.
3 1s? Well, that's a good sort of control and contemplation and reflection scenario for you. So, Narcissa, as you're sort of moving here, I'll say that because Freya and Hank kind of they're on, kind of your, it's like Freya's in the lead and then you and then Hank's kind of behind, sort of an inversion of that, and then the tarot club is, chasing after. Narcissa, they're sort of looking for like movement. They're looking for, they're just kind of, they're keeping their eyes open for danger. You are looking a little more in with like an insight and 3 1s. I will say that you are getting a sense that the further you guys go into this house, the less seems to have been disturbed. With that level that you have, though, I'm going to say you also are getting a very eerie feeling. Something about this feels off. It feels... This space, like, people who say this place is haunted, you immediately know why. And with 3 ones, you suspect it absolutely is haunted. I don't know if Narcissa is someone who has believed in ghosts up to this point, but she would certainly bet on it at this moment that they are real, because this house does feel occupied, even though it is clearly very dead. Freya, you come to a door. This door, unlike most of the others, though it is sort of, not in great condition, there's some weather damage and such, it is closed, and it appears to be barred from the outside. It is in one of the sort of hallways as you've curved around back, and there's a sort of large bar, just like of wood, blocking it from being opened on this side.
I look back at Narcissa, not necessarily trying to make eye contact, but I just look at her. Then I look back and take a deep breath, and then I just unbar it.
All right, you kind of the wooden beam that you begin pulling up is kind of almost falling apart in your hands. You manage to move that up. Hank is kind of close behind. This door is in a bit more condition. The hinges are in a bit better condition. The hinges are fully intact. And as you sort of pull it open, you do see a staircase leading down.
I see we found your steps, I say to Hank.
Narcissa, you have an overwhelming sense that there is something down there.
I don't know if we should go down there.
Hank said the silver was downstairs. So,
What if there's another path or another downstairs? I just have a really bad feeling.
have you been in a house like this? Would you know?
No, but it feels like there's something here with us.
I think there's gonna be things everywhere we go. We gotta get that silver.
Well, we haven't looked at the rest of the house. Maybe there's silver in a kitchen or I don't know, the ballroom.
Do I also have this sense?
Siobhan, it's possible you would have a sense of this, but right now, you've got that card in your notebook.
Oh, sorry.
That's where your mind is. But we'll say that Elodie and Siobhan you guys can be catching up at this point, sort of behind them, as you see they're at a door. And they're sort of standing there, and shocker, the Akatar sisters are at it again. It's never not funny to say it. It's never not funny to say it. Their faces every time I say it. But Siobhan, you're sort of kind of coming up behind them. Elodie is with you. There seems to be tension once again. Hank sort of says, I don't know much about this house. My aunt said this is where my uncle died.
You didn't tell us that part of the story.
He died with she said that Siegfried Stein killed him.
Okay, you could have told us that before we came into this house.
I'm sorry, I thought it was. This is where the Steins all died. I thought that was.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. You said that the silver's downstairs. That's what your aunt said, right?
Yes.
Great. And I start walking down the stairs.
Understood. Freya heads down. Elodie, Siobhan. At this point, Freya's walking into the pitch black. Narcissa, you're standing kind of next to this with the torch burning. Hank is behind, just kind of like Hank's expression is like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what? Why am I? What? They're asking me these things about my like, I tried to, whatever.
I know. Hank's
Everyone's
not your
just
fault.
a
My number one crush almost got eaten by a fish, and I got there too late, but she's okay. I don't know. And now her sister's.
You're what? You hear from the stairs?
No, so
You're
mean.
what?
At this point, Elodie and Siobhan, what would you two like to do?
How do I feel about going down the stairs? Can I insight that?
I mean, it's.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna, and I'll tell Siobhan, I am just going to stay here, and if somebody hollers, then we can go.
I agree.
Look. But I don't want to just cause a ruckus or disturb any sleeping spirits or anything. So I think we could just hang out around here with the ghosts and Hank.
Wait, I shouldn't
You're
go
such
down.
dear.
I thought I should go down with Freya.
Oh well, yeah.
Mm,
Or you could stay here with us. There's a lot going on up here.
Narcissa.
Looking out into the silent corridor.
Narcissa. Hank is there. You hear these two saying they're not going down. What are you doing? You have the torch. You have your feeling. Your sister is venturing into the darkness. You can see her still lit, but sort of kind of the torchlight at this angle is she's walking into pitch black.
I'll go in with her.
Very good. Narcissa will follow. Hank.
That's the only light source, right?
Yes, although Hank is already like as she's standing there, just seeing you two. Hank is like already fashioning another torch, which he's now lighting from Narcissa's, and he'll sort of hand to you or Siobhan or whatever. So Narcissa and Freya are going down. Siobhan and Elodie are staying here. Gonna sit cross-legged on the hallway floor with the tarot deck in a haunted house. Great plans. But
what's Hank doing?
Hank will kind of call to Freya. He'll sort of say, "Should I stay here with them or should I go down with you?"
I look up and because I kind of felt like the light was following
Yeah.
me, there's like a feeling of and I see Narcissa following me,
Yeah.
and I just let out a deep sigh and I just say, I think you should let us handle this.
Okay. Okay. He almost starts to say, "Be careful," and then just kind of doesn't because. What's he got?
Is there a way that I could use my narrative trope? Is that too meta?
I gave you narrative tropes for a reason. What's your question?
I just this feels like we are splitting up and some people are going into the basement. This feels
Yes.
like a horrible idea.
You have
Don't say.
You have two in that. So you definitely have read stories where moments like this happen. The great splitting up debate. They say that breaking up is hard to do. Now you know that it's true. But don't think that this is the end. I'm going to stop saying those lyrics now, but the point being, Siobhan, yes, you no role is required for that. You can feel how much this moment feels like a story. Where the people go off on their separate things. And sometimes one group is safe and the other is not. Sometimes both groups are visited by things. Given Narcissa's energy and this card you saw and the fact that you either are going to try to fix a ghost, which sounds hard, or a bandit, which sounds slightly easier, you understand that there are things afoot. Freya, however, has said, "We will handle this ourselves." Speaking, it's like this sounds like she's saying this is an Akatar matter.
Where to God?
This is Akatar business.
Okay. Do I mean, this is all so. Do I get a read? The best way I can say is do I feel like the basement gets me closer to the thing I saw?
Ooh, now this I'm effing into. Siobhan, here's what you get to roll. I'm going to let you roll a will. I'm going to let you roll an analyze. So that is 5. You're analyzing this. I'm going to let you add your narrative tropes, which is 2 more. So that gets you to 7. But because of your knowledgeable facet, which says whenever you would gain a bonus moon die on a roll thanks to your knowledge of a subject, you gain an additional 1.
Oh,
so
wow.
you
Okay, so
are
one
adding,
more?
yes, so you are adding 3 plus 2 plus 3. You are rolling 8 of these
8.
puppies.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just see if I can find one last one in my... Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. I'm going to throw up.
Distress.
Okay, let me get
the
auxiliary.
I love it so much. Got to go to the auxiliary dice.
Wow, they're all D10s. Oh. Okay. I guess I'll just roll one over again. Okay.
And if you don't have any matches in 8, then math is against you. And you should have taken a different subject in school because the teachers were wrong. You'll never use it.
3 full moons.
Ooh.
3 full moons.
Yes.
This passion on this stuff is a lot. The trope, Siobhan, if you are going to find love in a hopeless place, is not. You are not. They're doing the A story, A for Akatar, but you are doing the B story.
B story.
B for better. B for like
Bone and ghosts.
B for Bay. You are going to. You do not believe you should go down there.
Great.
And
Great.
in fact,
Perfect.
quite frankly, and you don't love thinking
I should go
like this,
upstairs.
I mean, maybe go
Fuck 'em.
upstairs or even just like Elodie's fine. You understand. You guys are cool, but like sending 2 other eligible bachelorettes downstairs is not a bad idea in this context.
I mean, I hear that. I want to support.
Like if you,
I want to support my girls though.
It's fine. He doesn't need to meet them. It's confusing for him to meet so many girls.
All right. Okay.
All right, Siobhan. So after
stay
the
put.
8 dice you got to roll on narrative tropes,
All right. I'm staying put.
okay. I mean, you said I think going upstairs is your best bet. You know,
Yeah.
for sure, but you don't have to do that. But sort of
No, I think we can. I think we'll pause here. I just don't want to get sucked in. I don't want to get embroiled.
Okay. All right. So
I also don't have a weapon, so I feel like
get it. So Elodie, you and Siobhan are here. You're sort of static at a place. There's a torch. Hank is waiting, not really sure why Freya didn't want him to come down. Feeling worried about Narcissa, and yet also knowing, like, I'll even say, Siobhan or Elodie, do either of you have a listen of 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, both of you do? Then you both
Yep.
hear Hank mumbling softly as Siobhan, you're like kind of telling her you'll just stay here. You hear Hank sort of saying like, God, if I go down, I mean, she's gonna be fine. If I go down, I'll just get in her way anyway.
No. Hank.
He doesn't engage with you. He doesn't say another word and walks a little further away, just like looking down other hallways.
I think he's having a private moment with himself.
He. I mean, there's a quiet aptitude about him, but he really, I think, deep down lacks confidence.
I know. Oh, for sure. All of his confidence is wasted on his hunting.
All right. Well, we got a lot going on here.
You're the best.
Karn is doing a wagon. No rolls are required for you to get a wagon. It's just some time.
I have
Sure.
just a quick couple things
Go
that
for
I would
it.
like to bring with me.
Absolutely.
In addition to the traps, they might like to just bring some like extra cudgels or something. And I would like to take in the fact of what Kokern told me, that it's an apex predator and we're gonna need bait for the traps. And so I assume it's still out there basically draining, I would like to bring Hank's elk with me as bait for the traps.
Oh.
That will require some talking to who. So, yes, we'll get this. You don't really have I'm gonna let you do investigation because this is I'm sure you're like pitching this as part of your I'm the town inspector, eminent domain. Gimme that prized elk.
Sure.
So let's do will and investigation for you.
Okay. That is one match of a full moon.
Full moon. With passion, you are able to convince them that you need the elk.
Okay. And then I'll with that on the wagon.
Oh my god, that's the last thing Freya wants to see is Hank's prize elk.
I mean, I don't know
We'll see
about
if she
that.
sees it.
We're turning it into bait, so
Sure. Okay, Hank. I'll tell you what. There's 3 threads right now because Hank, there is one more thing. Apologies to everyone, although you guys
Are you
sort
talking
of
to me?
No. Yes, was talking to Karn. There's 3 threads right now. Apologies, but you guys do all choose to go off on your own, so it's not my fault. We're gonna stick with Karn for one more moment. Then I promise we will see what happens in this stuff. Karn. In your doing of this, are you sort of telling people that things are going on, or are you kind of keeping what's up somewhat secret? I mean, it seems like probably to get the elk, you had to convince people this is it.
I would let people know that there's some sort of predator that Freya and Hank are already out tracking when I need bait.
Great.
I won't go in details about anything that specifically happened tonight.
All right. I am going to say, I think this would happen. As you're sort of saying all of this, Arlene, the barkeep, she sort of she has overheard some of your sort of discussions for this, and she is going to mention that they're going to the manor. The place is haunted.
Yeah, I mean those are the stories. They've there's Hank is there. It's his family's manor, right?
What?
Or at least there's some sort of family history there.
Hank? No, Hank's a nobody. That's the Stein Manor.
Right, no, sorry. I mean, sorry, but he has some sort of connection to it, I believe.
Not that
That's
I
what
know
he said
of.
anyway.
Oh, he thinks he's a Siegfried Stein bastard? Well, then he's the only surviving member of the bloodline. But, look,
I trust Hank and Freya to keep them safe until I get there. Why do you think? Is there something to this haunting? Have you been there? Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen that. I have seen a ghost, though.
Here? There?
You fish a lot, right? Have you ever gone fishing late at night?
Certain times, yes.
Have you ever seen the woman in light?
Can't say I have, but I know the story.
The woman in light. You're not a folklore person, but since you go on tell you what, you're not a folklore person, but since you have gossip and fish anatomy, we'll say you've at least heard the story. There is a rumor of a ghost on the far side of the lake where the mists begin. She's called the Woman in Light. This woman who's sort of ethereal, unworldly, wearing a white dress, who seems to glow. A lot of people think she's a ghost, and now Arlene is saying she's seen her.
You've seen the woman in the light.
The Woman in Light. Mm-hmm. I've seen her.
When?
This was several years ago. I'd gotten sort of lost, and it wasn't even, what was so strange about it wasn't even night, but, it was just like the story said. I saw this glow, and then I saw this woman. She was wearing this dress, and for a moment it seemed like she had, I say she's a ghost, she might have been an angel.
She had what?
Wings. She wasn't flying, she was just standing there. But she told me that I could ask her questions. But something about her seemed... I asked her questions. I just asked her how to get home, but she knew it was strange. She was able to tell me. She could tell me things nobody could have known. There was something about her that was off, though. Like it was all a joke to her. I'm not explaining it right, but the point is, if you really think there's something out there, I think she'd know about it.
And where did you see her?
She'll sort of tell you, kind of on the lake, the far side of the lake, kind of just at the edge of the mist. And she said, I'm not sure if you could call for her, but I saw her there, that's all. She was at this, and actually she will give one detail, that there was a stone that seemed not naturally, though it was a rough stone, it seemed sort of placed in a clearing, kind of in a deliberate way. Large stone, maybe about 3 feet high, sort of jutting out jaggedly from the ground. And she suggested that that's where she is.
Well, thank you. At this point, I'm searching for answers everywhere. Did she tell you anything about her? A name? Something I could call out to her with?
Did she tell her name? Make a luck roll using your investigation.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
But you'll probably need a match.
Just one match with Waxing Crescent.
Waxing Crescent, huh? I think beginnings, excitement, experience, that's the wrong vibe for this. So I will say that no, I never thought to ask her name. She seemed like something above a name, but I don't know.
Understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I need to go. Thank you. I need to go track them down at the manor.
I feel bad for Lars and all those babies. Although, not like he was going to be there for him anyway, but...
We'll sort it out in the morning.
She goes back to doing the bartender thing of cleaning the bar top.
Can I, It's a cold night, and I don't know what condition I'm going to find them in. Can I take a bottle for the road?
Hands you a bottle. With that, we'll cut away from Karn. So, evens, Akatar, odds, tarot cards. Evens. Freya and Narcissa, alone you venture down into the cellar. Freya, the first thing you notice are the scratch marks on the stone wall. Deep, ragged gashes, no discernible pattern. The banisters kind of leading here are completely shattered. Many of the steps, thank goodness Narcissa, you didn't go too far. Thank goodness Narcissa isn't, has like a torch behind you. But you managed to kind of, make your way down to this sort of stone floor of the cellar. There was some fight here for sure. There is even like dried blood stains on the wall, which you both can see. Something definitely happened down here. Do either of you have look as a skill?
No.
What a great division of labor.
I mean, I don't. She might.
Perfect. Narcissa.
Nope.
You are sort of, so you've got the torch in hand. Are you kind of just doing a standard, like
Yeah.
spread the fire around to see
Sweep,
stuff?
yeah.
There do seem to be some rooms, some doors open, Freya. There seem to be a lot of storage. Like there you see a lot of like broken wine bottles. At first you think, oh my god, look at all that dried blood, but it's actually just like the remnants of broken wine. There's broken glass and a few intact bottles sort of sitting on one side. Some broken racks around that. As you are moving.
Can I like stealthily move? Like I want to make sure I'm not being like I'm being quiet
Absolutely.
and I
You're-
can like I go into like I want to be like in hunter mode where I'm like watching for everything. I'm being stealthy. I'm kind of like waiting for the sounds of like tracking something. Like I want to be in that mode as I come down to the floor of the cellar.
Perfect. You Oh, this section. Yikes. Narcissa, so Freya, no roll is required for you to be sort of stealthy in this context. Especially because there's nothing down here that has ears remaining to hear you. But Narcissa, as you are sort of waving this torch, you sort of look down one corridor and see nothing. And you swing back around, and like right in the flame, right peering through it, are these 3 small children who seemingly are ripped, like gashed like this. Their bodies are white and their faces are locked in these screams of just like shouting right at you. I need you to roll a will
Nope.
and a... You actually are allowed to use your charm in certain... You have charming escape, so I'll let you do will and charm. But basically, as it's like they were not there. You looked down that way, you looked the other way, you looked back, and it's just like just like destroyed, all 3 of them, just like standing in a little line.
Right. No matches.
No matches. You, Narcissa. Now, if you wanted to, you could use some power, but you're at 7 here. If you wanted to re-roll that, you could spend 3, or you can just let the fates fall as they may. Perfect. Then
Well, let
Narcissa.
the fates fall. That's
Freya,
fine.
you hear Narcissa scream, and as you're whipping back around, you see her body hit the stone floor as she has passed out. Or as far as you're not even sure what's happened, but Narcissa is down. Freya, you also see the torch fall and clatter to the ground. We'll have this be on Freya, because you're the one who currently can see. Give me a luck roll, and we'll throw your survival on top of it. 4 dice.
Oh god, I can't even like look at which 4 dice I'm gonna
I
use.
understand. Just roll 4 d4s.
4d4.
4d8s. I can't speak. No one listened to me.
I was like, what?
It's been a long week and it's Sunday.
I have 1. I have 2 3s, which is a first quarter.
Great. A first quarter in this context is going to be really anything, and it's accomplishment. The accomplishment for you is that it's not really an accomplishment on your part, but Narcissa, whatever, the way she dropped it, it's a lucky thing that the fire didn't go out. You were not plunged into darkness. But she is on the ground. She screamed in terror. I am going to, at this point, say that Elodie and Siobhan, we're going to do like, actually, they just got down there. So Elodie and Siobhan, they're down there. Are you preparing to do a tarot reading, Elodie?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Oh, no. I will be doing a palm reading.
Oh, a palm reading on Siobhan.
Yes.
Ooh, all right.
Because I do acknowledge that if we hear something or see something, we may have to scram. So I don't want to bring my cards out again.
Okay, you're preparing to do a palm reading for Siobhan. You guys hear a scream from downstairs. Hank is gone. He is down. Hank is running down, like barreling down with his thing. You and Siobhan, you have the torch sort of, just like up there, kind of wedged somewhere. You're holding her hand.
Stay here.
Stay here.
Stay here.
Shouldn't we go down?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Do a palm reading. Do a barrel roll. For you, a palm reading in this context, now that you have sort of the time, this will be palmistry and will. That is 5 dice.
Ooh.
I'm also going to say, I'm going to let you throw a Blue Moon folklore onto this. So that's 6 for you.
Okay.
So you're using your knowledge of, It's important that I let them use knowledge when it doesn't matter. on the B story. On the Bay story.
All right. I only had 2 matches of a waxing.
You had 2 matches?
Oh no, sorry, 2.
You had 1 match.
2.
Okay.
1 match.
1 match. Okay, cool.
1 match.
A waxing crescent. Your degree was 2. Perfect.
Correct.
Waxing crescent. Ooh, that's excitement, beginnings, and experience. Elodie, you've never noticed it before. 1, Siobhan has beautiful hands.
She does.
Nice nails. Probably
She's been using the tinctures I've been giving her for
2,
her skin.
Mm-hmm.
her love line is not a joke. Her love line is strong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this interesting bend in her love line where it sort of crosses like a couple of other lines that almost do look shattered, but then it all comes together even stronger.
I will convey this information to her. So, some exciting stuff is about to happen to you in your love life, it appears. Take that for what you will.
I want to sit here for like 4 heartbeats.
Okay.
And then hear if like things are escalating downstairs.
Okay.
And if they aren't escalating, I'm going to grab Elodie by the hands and I want to find my way upstairs.
Okay, so you will take the torch and head upstairs. Then I'll say, for the purposes of darkness, if things escalate, it won't happen until after you guys have gone. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And rushes upstairs. Freaking love it. The 2 of you run upstairs. Down below, Narcissa. You're unconscious, having really bad dreams. Freya, your sister's on the ground. Hank is kind of rushing down. Like musket just honestly, in this context, he's throwing the musket over his shoulder and he has his axe out. And he's kind of just running down, and sort of sees her and is good, but you're already at her.
I'm already on the ground, pulling her into my lap and trying to wake her up. Like dropped my musket on the ground, and I'm just trying to be like, I'm just like using her nickname too. I'm like, Sissy, this is not what's wrong, and just trying to wake her up. Like, no, this is not the time. I'm sorry. And I just immediately go into this like weird, ridiculous spewing of like guilt and sorry and like just I'm sorry I thought we could do this and I wanted to do this with you. I wanted to do something with you and I just wanted to do something together. Maybe this would help. I don't know. I'm sorry if I was too headstrong, but wake up. It's time to wake up. And I'm like trying to like shake her awake.
Hank, sensing what he should do, he's just picking up the like torch and like, making sure it keeps burning and just taking a defensive position over you. Kind of like he's you, if you were paying any, you're aware he's there, but he's not on your mind at all. If you were paying any attention, you could see his mind being like, I bet I really shouldn't ask what happened, but I really want to know. you're sort of slapping your sister on the face. I would like for you to roll. This will be an intellect meets survival for you to kind of just do whatever baseline medicine to sort of, rouse her from whatever the hell just happened.
That's 4 dice.
4 dice for this roll. 4 little dice.
Can I add a bonus, spend a power and gain a bonus on this?
I think that you should gain a bonus. It is you would need to spend 2 power unless it's. You know what? I'll let this be coordination. Sure. You're trying to smack her in a certain way. So whenever you're gaining bonuses, oh wait, no, that's not it. Just kidding. It costs you 2. It costs you 2 for a bonus.
It cost me 2. Yeah, I'm gonna take the. I'll take the 2.
Perfect.
I'm genuine. It's that I'm in survival mode and I don't like this and I want to save her and.
Oh again, wait! You also get another one for field medicine. So roll. So you got.
Where's that?
That's under your knowledge, and that's not all situations, but we'll give it to that now. So yeah, by a bonus you get 6, or don't spend the points and you have 5.
I'm gonna spend the points still.
Perfect.
I don't care.
Give you 6. Love it.
So I have 6 total.
Yeah.
And like again, because as I'm so sorry. We should never have done this. I'm so sorry I left you alone. I'll never leave you alone again. I'm just gonna come home every day. Like I'm like doing every possible apology of something that I can do. Oh, okay. I got 1 match. It's 2. It's Waxing Crescent, Beginnings, Excitement, Experience.
Excitement is helpful for this. I will say that you're able to rouse her. It takes a couple moments, but she doesn't seem injured and her eyes do sort of flutter open. So Narcissa, you awaken, you see your sister. Now, for a moment,
I'm just rambling at you.
As she's just like saying this, and you see the torch still dancing around, you see your sister's face, your eyes kind of this, but Narcissa, for a moment, just for a moment, you see one of those kids, their face locked in this rictus of terror over your sister's shoulder. And as your eyes focus, they're gone. But you likely kind of just like shout again or express some fear. Hank is there, kind of axe thing out, but you guys seems frightening.
Yeah, so I'll probably like gasp and like back away and like try like to get my bearings and get up and like, this place is bad. We need to leave now.
Okay, whatever you want.
Oh. Hank sort of says, yes, but... And then he gestures.
Oh, no!
He gestures to one of the open doors, and the light catches Silver within.
Oh, it's the worst. The worst!
Hank, you go get it.
Oh.
All right.
Hank, you go. If you want, to help my sister. To help my sister, I will be here with her. You go get the silver.
Hank walks towards the silver.
Oh,
with the torch in hand. As he sort of moves away and the darkness moves more deeply around you all. Narcissa, you feel a cold hand taking yours. A small hand next to you. Icy, soft fingertips.
Oh.
Okay, so I look next to me. This is happening.
You look next to you and then down, and you see those kids are there. It's a good time for howling. You see those kids are there. Just kind of ripped apart. You don't have to instinctively scream, but they're like, all their intention is on you. All their focus is on you. Your heart is catching. What do you do?
Freya, can you see what I'm seeing right now? Right next to me?
What are you talking about?
Freya, do you look?
I look, yeah,
Freya,
but I'm like, I do the thing where I'm looking at Hank, but like looking
Yeah.
back at her, just like trying to be
As
like.
you glance at her and say, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, you can tell where she's looking. As your eyes begin to head where she is looking, Narcissa and Freya and Hank all hear these empty, hollow, childlike screams of terror and pain. And that's when the flame.
No.
Elodie and Siobhan.
We're just having the best time up here. Just chasing ghosts with our torch that's still on. We're gonna die.
Siobhan and Elodie, you've made it to the stairs.
Right upstairs. Go upstairs. Let's go.
Ventured upstairs.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You reach the top of the stairs, and you see there is a figure standing silhouetted against one of the windows at the far end of the hall, the moonlight making a perfect silhouette.
Is this who I saw before?
Make a look roll. Use your vitality. No, use your will, damn it, you need it. Elodie, you can do a look with, Elodie, you do a look with vitality. Siobhan, you do a look with will.
Okay.
In many cases, this might make no mechanical difference for either of you. I don't remember your stats, but that's what it is.
I have 2 matches.
Ooh, 2 matches!
Waning Crescent and Third Quarter, 7 and 8.
I have nothing.
You have nothing. So Elodie, you see the figure, but you can't make anything out about it. Siobhan, you can do one of these you can kind of look at one of these figures, or you look at this figure. I will say that you see it perfectly. This is not the person you
I'm
saw.
sorry. No, I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have 3 matches.
Whoa.
6, 7, and 8.
Oh,
2 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s. Okay, in
Correct.
this circumstance, there weren't even 3 things you were trying to do. So first of all, but I'm going to give you some bonus for this. Which one of those do you want to use for the literal looking, for the sight, for the visual acuity portion of this?
Okay, hold on.
And I'm also going to give you one for. I'm also going to let you.
Accept it.
You can take which one you want, but then you can do so that'll be. But then the next one will be for like understanding intent, kind of like an insight, like understanding the vibe of this spirit.
The actual looking, I want acceptance, maturity, serenity.
Great.
And for the intent, I want justice, preparation, understanding.
Understanding. Great choices. I'm going to give you something else for the 6 on there. But this is not the ghost used. This is not the... Oops. Spoiler alert. This is not the figure you saw.
Oh.
This is a woman. The look on her face is one of warning. And Siobhan, actually, I'm going to throw the waning gibbous on this for perspective as well. And as the clouds shift behind her, and you can see her a little more, and she seems to be gliding towards both of you. It seems like her mouth is moving, but no sound is coming out, and you can see that her throat is cleanly slashed all the way through the vocal cords. She cannot speak, but she's mouthing words as she comes to you.
Where is he? Where is he?
Can I do a look roll and see if I can see what she's saying? Because I think I know what she's saying.
I think you do. I go ahead and make a look roll. Sure. Use your vitality for that.
Thank you. That is 2 5s. Full moon.
Full moon passion. You can tell. I mean, yeah, it's yes, you can see that she is warning you to leave, but she doesn't seem. Siobhan would. We'll throw this on you. As she gets closer, you can tell. Yes, she's been sliced to the throat. She does have this, like, rough-looking wound on her arm. Like a bite or a scratch or something. Like, her arm is jaggedly torn up, but this is a clean slice. As she's hovering forward, and she's just saying... Her eyes are these, like, white, empty sort of, spaces as she's just... howling at you to run. Do you say anything?
I will grab Elodie and say, she's telling us to run. Or grab Siobhan. I said Elodie.
At this point, as she's getting closer and closer, you hear a voice that sounds very real and very present, kind of coming from some chamber behind you, saying, Hello, is someone there?
A man's voice?
A man's voice. Sounds...
A man?
Oh, man! Oh, my stars and garters!
A German caller! Let's make a beeline towards that voice.
So basically, as Elodie's like we should run downstairs, but Siobhan is pulling you further onto the landing away from this. Siobhan?
Is the voice is beyond the apparition coming towards us?
No, the voice is like you guys got to the top of the landing. It's coming from you there, but if you were to like turn kind of like and go back down this hallway of doors, it's coming from like behind you upstairs.
Yes, that's where
so you are pulling Elodie in that direction. Elodie, you are pulled and you look back and there is no woman behind you.
Oh, great. Totally awesome.
And you hear footsteps, and Siobhan, also lit from some perfectly placed window, this figure, the one you saw, steps out onto the hallway. You hear footsteps. He kind of moves quickly. What are you doing here?
This
is the one you saw.
Okay.
What are you?
Is he holding anything?
No. Just himself in a regal, stern, damaged
I
manner.
want to stride fully, like, just glide to him.
Okay.
And I want to get close, and I want to say, tell me your secrets. Give me your power.
He looks down at you.
I'll do whatever it takes.
I can tell you my secrets. The power is not mine to give.
Where?
But I don't have to. You don't have to do anything. I give it freely. Welcome to my house. My name is Ziggy.
Yes.
It's been a long time since anyone's come to call. You're so beautiful. I don't want my wife to see. I don't want her to see the way I look at you. He turns around and starts walking down the hallway, not even looking back, knowing that you will follow him.
Okay. From everything that Siobhan has thought or heard and researched, knows about the history of this.
Yeah. You do know some things. What is your question? Or is it just
My question is,
or is it just what the fuck?
No. I've specifically because like her. It's not about like the fact that it's. Does she think that he is like the origin of the lycanthropy here?
Excellent question. I'm going to have you make. I'm going to let you do your analyze.
Mm-hmm.
But this is entirely. This is vitality. This is not like this is no brain. This is all heart. This is all emotion.
Yes.
This is all just awareness.
Yes.
So this will be vitality plus analyze. You may add your blue moon folklore, but that does give you 2 instead of 1. So that is 6 total.
I will spend 2 to get another.
Oh, 7.
Powered. Yeah.
Lucky number 7. That was a movie with Josh Hartnett. Remember that guy? Remember Josh Hartnett?
Yes, never forget.
That is
There are 2 things I will never forget.
40
9/11
days and 40
Josh
nights.
Hartnett. Okay.
now Pearl Harbor. What?
Never
That
forget
is
Pearl Harbor either.
3 first quarters.
3
threes.
first quarters.
Correct.
3 threes. 3 of that sweet action and decision. With a 3, you are you're rather decisively aware based on the name he just called himself. Now this is someone who should have been dead for decades at this point.
Yes.
But this would be Siegfried Stein's eldest son, Siegfried Jr. Ziggy. He, like all the others, was said to have died. And certainly based on his age, he is either a ghost, an apparition, you've already seen one, or he is someone who is still alive or in some form of undeath and hasn't aged in a while. You follow?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it's a vampire thing, okay, fine.
You suspect he's a ghost.
Okay.
Or maybe he's a werewolf and they don't age. You're not 100% sure.
Yeah.
The point is,
okay, but not the original. Okay.
He's not the originator, no. As far as you know, he died. As far as you know, all the children died.
Right.
And some of the grandchildren, which Narcissa could tell you about. Those are actually literally this guy's kids, but don't worry about that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Not what I wanted.
You're like, pass.
They never are.
It's like your dad really is what I'm looking for, but still, yeah, I'll look back at Elodie at this point then. Like that.
Okay,
I
understood.
think that bit is the tiny bit I need to break me out of the reverie.
And
You were
I
looking
will
for Daddy. Okay.
I'll say, Siobhan, you horny toad, get your mind right. Let's get back.
This could be.
That woman who is no longer there told us to run. Maybe it was him she was telling us to run from. When has chasing a man ever been good for you?
No, I mean, but what information have you got from men, really, though?
Well, nothing good.
Hmm.
And meanwhile, we've got 2 very strong, independent women down there finding information. They probably got some by now.
Okay, that's what you needed to hear. I'll go with you.
You guys head down.
Yeah.
God, it's so funny when a guy is like, "This girl's totally following me," and then she like didn't. That's really funny. After one of you eat, he's like, "I'll have her eaten out of the palm of my hand. Don't worry, guys." Oh, she left. She must be crazy. She's such a crazy. That word. So.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
This is the worst.
Downstairs.
No.
Narcissa and Freya.
No, then can we just stop the stream? Come on.
In the darkness, you suddenly hear the snarling of a wolf. And the children's screams become less echoey. And suddenly, you do see by torchlight, but everything is muted in color, black and white, aside from the red. As those three children, Narcissa, you saw, Freya, you can see them too, in these flashes of light, as these children begin to run screaming, as this massive hulking wolf-formed wolf man, his face sort of it's not as long as a wolf's snout, but it is certainly larger than a typical human's. He's wearing clothing, and he has weapons on his belt, although it looks like it looks like it's all stretching as if his body's gotten larger. As he stalks down toward them, you hear him in this horrible, snarling voice say,
"Come and die then."
And as he rushes forward, his claws, his teeth tearing into these three children trying to flee around this cellar. You get the sense they were sent down here to be kept safe from something going on above. Their red blood soon fills the space. Eventually the wolf is standing there, panting, slavering the wolf man over the corpses. He didn't even feed, he wasn't hungry. He just wanted to kill. And that's when Freya, his eyes lock with yours, and Hank's, and back to yours. And he gives you this nod of understanding, hunter to hunter. Then his eyes fall on your sister. He lunges forward.
I take a defensive step in between them, and I take out my knife.
Understood. As you reach
Hilted knife
for the knife, as he leaps forward, you feel the knife the handle of your knife has these symbols carved in them. Symbols you're unfamiliar with the language. But you hear this whispering tongue. One you've never, not one you know, saying,
Elorethin akataras intimuros intikalas.
The knife almost feels hot in your hand for a moment as this wolf form fills your and Narcissa's vision, and then things are dark again, except for the still screaming hollow sounds of those children. And then a very distinctive and suddenly a tiny flame illuminates the space, held by Hank, who is trying to, just from his tinder, just relight the torch.
I just standing like over top of Narcissa with the knife in my hand, just like in a very just left to this defensive position.
Hank, with the torch, he fumbles and grabs like a little silver tray, like a silver serving tray, and just his face is completely like just sunken and terrified. He rushes upstairs and says, we should go.
I look back at Narcissa. I'm like holding our father's knife in my one hand. I just look you in the eye and I say, I will always protect you. And I offer my hand.
At this point, the darkness is forming around you both, and Narcissa in their silent scream. You see the children still just like kind of where they were when the thing first came down, huddled against the wall, still screaming. No sound. You see them. Every wound, you now know exactly how they got it.
I'll drop my open hand. I'll say, go. I'm going to grab one more thing of silver. But you go upstairs.
I'm not leaving you alone.
I'll be fine. I always am. And I just turn and I just walk to where Hank got that silver tray.
All right, you're grasping in the dark for one more silver thing. I love it. Make a luck roll with your trapping. Luck roll with you. Let's see what the old nets catch. Let's see what you catch in the snare. Luck and trapping.
Okay. I did get one. I got one match.
Love it.
And I got a first quarter.
First quarter accomplishment. Freya, love this. So Narcissa, you see she walks over. The light is like dying. Freya, you're basically in like pitch black. You reach forward and you feel this like curved. You think it's like a punch bowl almost, like a curve. It's like a pretty big thing. You're pulling it up. And as you pull it out, you're still holding that knife, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's still like I'm like ready. I have my knife here, my musket's around my shoulder now, and I'm like just grabbing with my other hand.
You're pulling this as you pull it out and sort of see in the dim light. Hank has not abandoned you. Like he's like halfway up the steps, so the flames are there. You look in this silver bowl, and you see a reflection in it that is not your own. There is this skull with large antlers staring back at you, and within the two round eye sockets, you see these eyes behind them, these eyes that do not seem human, these eyes that seem ferocious and wild, and you feel the handle of your knife burning in your hand. And again, that strange language for a few moments. But at that point, Hank is urging you both to hurry. We need to go.
I shake out of it and kind of mumble the words to myself back, just like, shit. And then I just beeline and like usher to make Narcissa go ahead of me.
Understood. Narcissa, do you go?
the bowl that I grabbed?
Freya has the bowl.
Oh, she has the bowl.
She
I don't have
went
it.
and grabbed.
Oh,
Yeah, you just stood there
got
and
it.
she went and got one more thing.
I was just watching her
Yeah,
with this
if
bowl.
I said the wrong name,
Okay,
apologies.
got it.
You know those
No, it's
Akatar
okay.
sisters. I'm always confused.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to think. Freya, use the bowl. Because I can see the bowl, right? I assume I can see
Yeah,
it.
you see that she's got it. And Hank is just,
Okay.
we have to go, we have to go. And Narcissa, those children are still staring at you from the side of the room. Their deaths, their pain, trapped here for years.
We got enough. It's time to go.
Where are the kids at in the room?
They're about 10 feet away, kind of huddled against. Actually, no, they're all standing. They're standing doing just a, like, thing like that at you.
I know. Creepy.
Yeah, it's upsetting. They're about like 10 feet away, just staring at you specifically.
So, Sissy, we gotta go. We have
I
to
can't
go.
leave the children here.
I don't know how you can help them. I don't know where they are. We need to leave. Listen to Hank. Like, we gotta go. I don't know where everybody else is. They did not come down with us.
We can't be here. We can't be here.
I know you
Can I-
can't leave them, but we have to go.
I reach for the kids' hands.
Roll. If you have a D6 handy, roll it. Otherwise, you could roll a D4.
I have a D6.
Give me a D6.
6.
Oldest kid. You reach for the kid. Your hand passes into it, and you faint again. She drops.
I scream, and I attempt to pick her. Like, I try to wrap around Narcissa's waist. I'm
Understood.
like, Hank, we gotta go. We gotta go. And I
Hank-
just try to, like, with the bowl in my hand, I'll even like toss the bowl, the extra bowl that I got, to Hank, and I just try to grab Narcissa.
All right, make a physicality roll, and I will let you use. I'll say this could be survival. Sure, that's fine. General stuff. Make a physicality plus survival. If you get 2 separate sets, Hank doesn't need to roll a success to catch the bowl because you've flipped it so perfectly. If you only get 1, I assume you'll use that for your sister. Oh, actually.
Got no sets.
No sets. You throw the bowl to him, and Hank basically, like, seeing you, like, flailing, like the bowl, the bowl clatters off the wall, like it hits the wall next to the steps. Hank got 2 sets. So basically, Hank, like, leaps down, catches the bowl on its bounce. As you're trying to pull your sister up and she's just on the ground, he pretty roughly shoves the bowl and the serving platter into your hands. And then picks up Narcissa, like, throws her over his shoulder, and looks where she was looking with this absolute sunken face terror, and then runs up the stairs.
I follow.
Great. You guys run upstairs. Pounding
I'll go
footsteps
dice
as you
jail.
run. Elodie and Siobhan, you guys are running down the stairs. Everyone looks scared. You see Hank carrying Narcissa, Freya carrying like a silver platter and a little, like, a silver punch bowl. They look terrified. Narcissa is unconscious over Hank's shoulder. They're running to the door. What are Elodie and Siobhan doing?
We're going. We're going.
We're going.
We're going.
Perfect. All of you rush out of the Stein Landhaus.
At the threshold,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take
Oh, Siobhan.
one look back. And then I'll take the tarot card out of my notebook,
Okay.
tear it in half, and leave.
Understood. You leave. As you run, the two pieces kind of fluttering down to the ground. As the four of you sort of move away, there is a woman standing in the door, her throat slashed from here. Gash on her arm, screaming, "Run," wordlessly. Karn, you're gathering a wagon. Based on how long that happened, you are still gathering the wagon. You have the elk, but you've managed the elk. You're still sort of getting this stuff together. I will ask Siobhan, Elodie, Narcissa, and Freya. Hank looks like he's holding Narcissa. He looks completely freaked out. So he's not making decisions. Narcissa, you're unconscious. Freya, Elodie, and Siobhan, what are you three do? Are you just is this run to town? Is this run a mile to town? Is this regroup outside the gates? What's the plan?
I'm defaulting to Freya because she.
Okay.
I think that we need to get. Yes, get off the grounds.
Yeah, we have to get out of the property,
Okay.
out of the property, and hopefully we meet Karn on the road. Like we don't have to. We'll run to the gates and then we kind of fast walk to town until we
Okay.
meet.
And then maybe, then Elodie, you can tend to.
Perfect.
Like, let's just get out.
You guys clear the grounds, and as soon as you're out of the grounds, you hear howling throughout the area. Wolves. Hank seems gobsmacked. Elodie and Siobhan and Freya and Narcissa. He's still carrying Narcissa. He's, clutching her very carefully, but his face is just belies this other terror, this other uncertainty. What are you guys doing? You're just moving. Do you stop and see Narcissa, or you're gonna let her be unconscious on the way?
We need to be somewhere safe.
Yeah, I want to be safer in a safe
Yeah, I mean, I want to check in with Hank and make sure that he's like all right.
He's
like physically capable of moving.
He's
her?
totally physically capable. He seems to be in shock. Freya, let's see how the luck holds without wolf attacks. Give me a luck plus tracking, because you can kind of be like, I know what wolf tracks will be like. Are they coming for us?
That's 5 total.
5 totes. Totes 5. 5 totes.
And I got, whoa, finally, where were these rolls earlier? I got 5s, which is a full moon, and I got 3 1s, which is a new moon.
Wait, so you got a full house? You got 2 and 3?
Yeah, I got 2 5s and 3 1s.
Well, and those are the diametrically opposed new moon and full moon. So I'll say,
yeah,
all luck is covered. You should go with the new moons for wolves, because that won't have them out, and you should go with the full moon for you guys hurrying. So yes, we will say in typical fashion, Karn, as you load up a wagon and begin to lead your way out, you see 5 figures running up to you from the path. You have like a wagon and a horse and a cart, and the elk is in the back ready to be butchered. And Hank, with Narcissa over his shoulder, Freya, Siobhan, and Elodie all emerge up the path. Like, they're not running, but they're just like, they look completely frazzled. Freya has a couple of things of silver in her arms.
Are you just running past me into the town?
I think they'd
No,
stop.
we're
when
good.
they-
It'll
yeah.
stop.
Yeah,
away
no,
me,
we're going
you.
to the card.
Yeah, we're going to you. Karn.
It's a gorgeous
Sure.
elk.
Karn.
It doesn't look like it went well.
We need help, Narcissa. The second time she passed out tonight. We need to help her. We need
I
to
might
help
be
her
able to
now.
help her out, but we gotta get to a safe, clear space.
You're able, Elodie,
cart.
you're back in town. You can get to Narcissa even at this point. You can just get her to your herbalism shop without too much issue. So Karn, you're just like, so you guys don't need the rental van. At this point, we'll just kind of say you can get there, no problem. Elodie, why don't you give me a using your use your vitality and folk medicine together.
Okay,
and
so-
add your human anatomy. That's 8.
I'll just roll another one.
I'm just nervously pacing. I'm nervous right now. I went into a nervous perch, but I'm just nervously pacing the room, like twiddling the knife in my hands and
She'll be
the
fine.
musket on my shoulder.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She has smelling salts. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, I've got more than smelling salts.
Wow, that's.
So I
mean,
have a.
Yeah.
I have a.
Let's not go
1
crazy, Elodie.
And 4 match.
You have 2 matches. You have 2 sets.
Yes, 2 sets: a new moon and a waxing gibbous.
Understood. Which one would you like to use for this purpose?
I would like to waxing gibbous.
Understood. So with just perfect clarity, Narcissa has clearly had a fright. Given what you guys saw, you were pretty sure it was a ghost fright. You've got just the tea for that. But you are able to rouse her pretty quickly and immediately, kind of have like a tea ready for her. Narcissa, you awaken.
Hey, honey, are you all right?
No.
Right. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but this might help, and I'll hand her the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more for Hank too, Elodie?
Yeah, and I'll fix him a cup too.
Yeah. I'll. You tend to her, and I'll.
He sort
take
of
care that.
Hank just sort of quietly says, "It was him."
What was him?
Who killed those kids? I know his clothes.
Who's
I know
he?
his clothes.
Whose clothes are they?
My uncle.
I just back up against the wall, and I just kind of do the thing where I'm not good with people, and I kind of remove myself from the situation.
Narcissa, you sip the tea, you look down in it. You see the face of an 8-year-old girl looking up at you, your own reflection. She's no longer screaming in that way. If you move your face, her reflection moves with yours.
Elodie, what kind of tea is this?
I call it a spirit tea. It's a play on words for spirit, and it's just to calm your nerves.
There's a spirit in here, all right.
Can I?
And on that note, as Narcissa sees the passenger that she welcomed into herself, we will end tonight's session. Everyone, thank you so much for playing. Would you all make small talk while I just pee so quick? And then I'll announce various other games and things.
Sure.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
No, anytime.
Cinder,
Well,
why don't we just go ahead and plug stuff? You want to tell us about when you're
I'll
streaming?
plug- So yeah, on we had our first stream of Penitent last week, which was incredible. I'm playing there's so much drama going on. I've triple booked dinner plans for supper with the abbot and someone in town. There's a rich German in town who might be talking to the abbot about these crazy teachings of Martin Luther, so it could get pretty spicy here in this game where I am playing a artist illuminating manuscripts in the 1500s. It is a really good game, and I really hope that you'll join me to see it. That will be on Tuesday from 5 to 7 Pacific here on Twitch at Andrew is Trying. It's great. It's so good.
Oh, here, actually, I do have something. There is a... I don't think I may have mentioned this before, but there is a video game I voice directed called Omega Strikers. It's basically like Rocket League meets soccer with just a whole lot of anime in there. And it's free right now. I think it's still in its open beta on Steam. I think consoles and such are coming in February. But it's worth checking out. It's a lot of fun and goofy.
Don't hydrate is my advice. Drink 12 glasses of water a day, and it's unpleasant. Anyway, thanks for plugging those things, guys. Thanks for watching this game. Boy, that got fun, right? Remember when you guys went into a haunted house and it was pretty rough?
And split up.
And you split up.
We did.
And once again,
we did a classic Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
we all split up as soon as we got in.
That was likely. I did see in the chat people saying thought this was a werewolf game, not a ghost game. So apologies for my misrepresentations. But if you've ever seen American Werewolf in London, you know the victims keep so that's it. In any case, please join us for some other games. If you like this game, please follow the channel, subscribe if you're able, all that fun stuff. But tomorrow, so exciting! What tomorrow is? Tomorrow is our Top Flight West holiday annual #1 or holiday issue. I'm not sure what I called it, but check that out. That's at 7:30 tomorrow night. That will have Top Flight reuniting for a holiday-themed adventure that is sure to delight and feel sort of like the opposite of tonight. And on Tuesday, Gray in the Dark, they have decided to team up with an itinerant plumber who is just wandering through the fairylands to rescue his girlfriend, who's a nightclub singer, from a monkey. If anyone wants to do some connecting of dots, you're probably right. So that's going on in our noir game, but they're in the fairyland, so it feels more just weird than noir. It's been a lot of fun, so that's going to be a great session. On Friday, we rolled, everybody, which Dreadland we returned to on Blood from a Stone. And they rolled an 11 on a D13. And friends, 11 is sweet, sweet paradise. We are back in paradise. I said we can literally go wherever, but they rolled paradise, so that's where we're going. I'm so excited to go back to paradise. Just gonna blast all the tunes. Rock and Roll Dreams will come through, so that will be this Friday. A week from tonight, return for Chapter 3. We are halfway through this game. Many secrets are to be uncovered. Many werewolf bites are to be administered. A lot of fun is to be had. And many more times. And will Siobhan find love? Will Narcissa and Hank find there's something there? Who knows? Will Narcissa ever get the small child who's died in torment out of her psyche? I can't answer these questions because I genuinely don't know. It'll all depend on dice pool rules. Then, gonna go ahead and plug this as well. 1 week from tomorrow, that would be December 12th. Lost Lore Academia begins. A very exciting game. It has a system unlike any other where it's a very downtime intensive game where the time that passes out of game passes in game as well. So in other words, whenever a session ends, if we don't play for a week, it will have been 1 week in the game as well. So there's a lot to do when you're out of the game, downtime, and I'll go ahead and sort of mention this just as a little teaser of it. Not only the players in this game get to participate in those downtime activities. Viewers can sort of join
So smart.
this activity as well if they would like to. and other players from other games, etc. So yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff going on here. You can enroll at Oakshire University for Lost Lore Academia. Class will be in session beginning on December 12th. We're doing that basically so that like we're going to do a couple sessions, and then while we're off for a while, people can still do the downtime, over winter break. So that's going to be really fun. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be different vibe. Real excited to see that. So do that. Also, I'll throw this out. CJ Soot's Noir Confidential is out. We have released the book. If you're a Kickstarter backer, you can download it. You probably already had if you're watching this. If you're a normal person, you can buy it. That's cool. It's on itch.io. Go to longlostlore.itch.io /noir-confidential. And I'm sure we have there it is. Yep. So yeah, check that out. All the fun noir options. The artwork is beautiful. And as we were talking about, it's not AI generated. So I guess that means we're like basically saints. Like, I guess that means like we fixed the world. So yeah, that's all of that, that long rant. You see why I wanted to pee before I said all of it. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Other than morals, because I did that to you guys tonight.
We're used to that.
Why did it have to be kids? It's because you went downstairs. That's where the kids died. Because
you said that's where the silver was.
It was.
Oh yeah. Oh, and as you're about to leave, by the way, you also see there's more silver.
Oh, there's so much silver.
Thing that you desperately need.
So much silver.
That's so good. So good.
Wonderful. Yeah, dark things here. So thank you all so much for watching. This was super fun. I want to say thank you to these players. I really appreciate you guys diving in. Special shout out to those ACOTAR sisters. What's funny is that all ACOTAR means to me is just, it's a name. It was always a name to me. So now it's a name. So this is great. So thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time. Until then, have a dreadful night. Ow.